arting.
Welcome back, you're in arting. Today we're making a sun and moon project because we're working with warm and cool colors. You will need a paper, a Sharpie, a pencil eraser, and your oil pastels. I already divided my oil pastels into warm and cool colors. You're gonna start by tracing a circle in the middle of your paper, and then we're going to draw the features for the face of the moon and the sun. The first part is gonna be the moon. I'm making a curved line to make the shape of the moon, and I'm gonna give it a nose kind of in the middle of the circle. Once I finish the nose, I will continue the curve to do my crescent moon. I will also give this moon some lips. And I will do the lips on the sun part as well because I want my mouth to be matching in the same place. Next, I am making an eye looking sideways on the moon. And then in front of it, trying to make it leveled, I'm going to make an eye looking forward on the sun part. I will also give my sun some blush on the cheek. For the next step, I'm doing the sun rays. The first layer are gonna be short rays, and then I'm gonna add some more on the back, which are gonna be a little bit longer. Now we're moving to the moon's background. I'm going to start doing some stars on the back. You can make a different background if you choose to. I am also gonna give my moon some small moon rays. These are just little triangles I am drawing all around the edge of the moon. And then from each moon ray, I'm going to make a line going all the way to the edge so I can divide my background into several colors. When your design is ready, you will outline all of your project in a permanent marker. When you finish your outline, erase all of your pencil lines that you can still see through the marker. And we are now ready to start coloring. I will be using cool colors on the moon side and warm colors on the sun side. Remember to clean your oil pastels before you use them on your project on a spare piece of paper so that the tip of your oil pastel has its true color. You can see me here covering the moon with white oil pastel before I start coloring, and then I do an outline with some violet and blue to give it a little color on the edge, and then I will go back with my white oil pastel and blend it in little circles. I'm trying to smudge the line so it kind of bleeds into the moon. I will add some darker details with dark blue, and I'm also gonna be coloring the cheeks of the moon and the lips. And then I'm moving on to my sun. I will outline the shape of the sun first with a dark red. And then I will be using orange to fill out around the edges next to the red, and I'm trying to blend them together as I go. I will be using yellow in the center of the sun, and then I'm gonna make all of my colors blend together. Remember to use little circles to make a smooth transition from one color to another. The sun rays will be similar to the sun. I am outlining everything with a red oil pastel, and I am also adding a little bit of color in the middle so I can blend it with the orange and yellow that I will be using later. I am now going in with the orange oil pastel, and I'm trying to blend the red lines that I already have into my orange. As you can see, I still have some area on the sun rays that I will be coloring yellow. On the tip of the sun rays, I'm using the yellow color, and I am also blending it into the orange and red that I had beforehand. I am now moving onto the stars on the moon side. I'm gonna give them an outline on yellow, and then I will fill them out with white oil pastel to make them very bright. Next, I am outlining the moon rays. And with light blue, I will color those moon rays, blending in the little purple color I had outside. Once we finish our sun and moon, we're going to flip the colors, and now we're gonna use cool colors on the back of the sun and warm colors on the back of the moon. Remember, you always need to outline the area first, like I'm doing here on the sun rays. I'm gonna give them an outline all the way around, and then you start filling out with color. I used dark blue to outline, and I am using light blue to fill in the rest of the space. You're gonna do the same steps on the moon background. I am outlining it first, and I will use two colors on this background. Some areas are gonna be pink, and some areas are going to be white. On the white areas, I will use the white oil pastel and blend those violet lines into the color. I am now adding a touch of light blue for dimension, and then I will also blend this one with little circles with a white oil pastel on top. And we are almost done with this project. Just for finishing touches, I will outline again with my oil pastels the dark areas to make those lines very crisp and sharp. And you can give some extra finishing touches to your project. Remember that you were working with warm and cool colors this time. And I hope your project turns out amazing. Thank you for being here. I will see you next time. Ciao.